Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we are celebrating the launch of a brand new pattern, a long time in the works. I think I started work on this in maybe I bought the yarn in about March. It's been a while. I did intend to release it in the summer, but the pattern just needed more work, and so I decided to do a second round of test knitting, which has brought us to today, and the pattern is awesome, like way better than I could have imagined. I was even thinking I was never going to be able to release it, and yet here it is, and I love it. So this is my Fragment t-shirt. It is a lightweight, kind of loose, slightly cropped t-shirt. It sort of hits hip bones. Looks awesome with high-waisted jeans and t-shirt and skirts and things like that. And yeah, it's kind of constructed flat because it's a linen yarn that I used. I actually used Quince Sparrow, and I chose to knit it flat because linen is a funny one. It wants to bias for a start, so it kind of can skew if you're working with it in the round. And yeah, it needs the structure of seams, so that's why it's a seamed garment. I actually love seams, who am I kidding? And then it features a really fun kind of tubular hem, which is knitted in the round, and then you kind of join it flat and then you work up. It's really cool. And then the main stitch is constructed using a simple combination of knit and purl, and then some crossed slip stitches. So it's really simple and yet really effective. It's one of those pieces in my wardrobe now where it's like, I just wear it all the time. It looks really good with so much of my wardrobe. It's very flattering. I've had a lot of test knitters make it now, obviously, because there's been 2 sets, and it looks great on so many different body shapes. So yeah, as I mentioned, it's made in Quince & Co Sparrow. I chose the shade Mica? It's shade 254, much easier to pronounce. And yeah, it's a beautiful linen yarn. Now, I have worked with a few linen yarns in my time, and it's not always my favourite actually. It's a little bit harsh on the hands. As I say, it can be a little bit tricky to work with. This is one of the nicest pure linen yarns I've ever used. I actually think it's the nicest pure linen yarn I've ever used. I recently worked with Blacker's Leoness, and that one's like a blend of wool and linen, and that really makes the linen behave nicely. This one is 100% linen, so it could be really awful to work with, but I love it. It's so soft. It doesn't feel as harsh on my hands, and the drape is fabulous. Like, the drape is just excellent. As I say, I've worn this a lot, so I've actually washed it quite a few times now, and after every wash it just seems to get softer. It really does almost improve with wear actually. I prefer it now to how it was when it was first knitted, so that's always a good sign. And linen is one of those yarns as well that's very strong, so my thinking is this is gonna stay with me. As long as I stay the same shape, I could probably wear this for, I don't know, several years, 10 years, I don't know, probably more. It's just so strong, so it's a good thing to work with, and particularly in the sort of summer, well, spring months. It's a yarn that's really comfortable to wear, and if you're a knitter like me who just wants to be knitting throughout the year, as opposed to just in the cooler months, then this is a really good project. Now, as I say, I did intend to release this in summer, and that didn't happen. So it's possibly we're heading into the cooler months if you're based in the UK like myself, or you're based in the US like many of my sort of followers and readers of my blog. A lot of you guys are based in the US. However, I do know that some of you are based in the Southern Hemisphere, and for you guys, I suppose you don't get huge amounts of pattern releases around this time of the year, especially from kind of people outside of the Southern Hemisphere. So I'm hoping that this will cater to you guys. And to be honest, I mean, it is getting cooler here. I can totally see myself wearing this as more of a layering piece. I have worn this. I've got this really beautiful kind of darkish blue alpaca cardigan, and I've layered it with this, and oh, it looks fabulous, and it is really nice and comfortable to wear. So whilst it's possibly not the most seasonal of releases, if you are based in the UK or the US, I'm hoping that you will still purchase the pattern and still knit it, because it's as I say, it really is a great layering piece, and you will be glad come summer that you have this lovely little t-shirt to wear. Now, let me think, what else can I tell you about it? Do you want to know the yarn amounts? I'll tell you the yarn amounts. I've just got my little pattern here. Okay, so we are using between 6 and 8 skeins of this beautiful sparrow, and that is 154 meters / 168 yards per 50 grams. So if you are intending to substitute, it actually doesn't use huge amounts of yarn. Gauge wise, I got 22 by 35 on stockinette. Obviously there's a stitch gauge, but if you're kind of looking to substitute, you can use the 22 by 35 rows per 10 centimeters stockinette to kind of give you a guideline. Recommended needle size 3.75. It's kind of an open stitch, so you can see that, you know, it's kind of not sheer. You know, I'm not wearing anything underneath like a tank top or anything, and you can't see through it, but it is quite an open fabric, so that's why you use that slightly larger needle size, and again that helps with the drape. It just makes it comfortable and kind of breezy to wear. I use some really fun techniques in this. I use short row shoulders. I don't know if you've ever used it before, but they are the best. I also use 3 needle binder in combination to give you a really nice neat shoulder seam like I have got here. Links to those tutorials are in the pattern. I also use the magic loop, and that is for the tubular hems at the bottom. Again, they are so cool. I'm definitely going to use them a bit more. It's a technique that you don't often see actually in hand knitted garments. They tend to be more of a machine knitted garment kind of construction, but I want to use them more because they were really fun to use. So yeah, they use magic loop, and then oh yeah, Julie's magic cast on. So again, they kind of pair up nicely together for those tubular edges. And what's really cool about those, you know, I could have easily done a like a folded stockinette trim and then seamed it at the side. However, because I have got these kind of split edges on the hem, I wanted them to be neat and like kind of joined here. I didn't want them to have any kind of messy seam work here. So just by knitting them in the round, it just means that it's really neat, and then you just seam from there upwards. So yeah, that's why I use that technique. It will have a slight discount on it on Ravelry for the next week after release. I think I'm gonna go, so today is the 2nd, tomorrow I'm releasing it, which is the 3rd. This is when you'll see this video. To you, today is the 3rd, if you're watching it on the release day. And I will have a discount code on Ravelry, and that will be available until the following Monday. So yeah, I'll put all details of that in the down bar, and I think that's it. I hope you like it. I don't do vlogs very often, so I feel like a bit of a rambler, but I'm hoping that you'll bear with me. I might do a few more of these if you're into it. Let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate having people like you along for the journey. And so until next time, happy knitting. I hope you get the Fragment t-shirt pattern, and I shall see you very soon.